Russia just did this, to me, signaling something really, really big is happening in the financial space. So number one, I'm going to break down what Russia did. Number two is with my logical circuit. I'm going to connect what US did and China did. And I'm going to share with you what I think is happening. Not financial advice. Don't make any financial moves. I'm not a financial advisor. You should always use discernment and do your own research. So yesterday, breaking news, Russia made a knee-jerk reaction and jacked up their interest rates because the ruble was collapsing. Now remember, what did America do? So it seems like Russia is now following America's plan based on bad financial policies and them being in a bad economic space. That's going to be a keynote you want to write down for this whole tying this together. So America printed more money than in history from 2020 to 2021. Then we shut off the printing machine, the M2 money supply. We jacked up interest rates. And Biden and Kamala Harris and Janet Yellen will tell you the economy is doing great. Well, of course, the job markets, because they shut down the job markets and people are coming back to work. But what they're not talking about is the future and the reverberation effect, which is happening now in Q4, where you're going to see a massive ripple effect from the raise of interest rates. So now Russia's going into the same pattern. So America jacked up interest rates. At the same time, inflation was high, destroying the normal, everyday American ability to survive, pay their bills. And this puts companies in a very dangerous place. What I'm going to be showing you guys tomorrow is how many companies are going into bankruptcy on the S&P. So those are companies that you work for or companies that Americans work for. So Russia jacking up interest rates, but at the same time, something interesting is happening. I'd love to hear your comments. But China is turning on the printing machine. So China turned on the printing machine. Russia shut it off, raised interest rates. America shut it off, raised interest rates. And the rumor's been for a very long time that we're transferring power over to China. And BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, is deep in China. And there's this big narrative that we're protecting Taiwan and we send weapons over to Taiwan. And if China invades Taiwan, we're going to war with China. And then Biden also has been sending weapons or money and everything over to Ukraine. And what did he do to Russia as soon as they invaded Ukraine? He took them off the SWIFT system or tried to put sanctions, Western sanctions, on their money. And just this week, we're doing the same thing to China. So we sent money to Taiwan, or we sent weapons to Taiwan, and he's putting sanctions or a executive order to slow down investments to China. So this is my narrative, just my narrative. So this is a switch in a monetary system. We have three major things going on: a war narrative, supply chain narrative, economic, and let me add climate change in there. So BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world with 10 trillion under management. And remember, BlackRock, Larry Fink, CEO, is on the board of trustees for the World Economic Forum. The board of trustees' job and mission and purpose is to move the mission and purpose of the World Economic Forum forward. So we have the largest asset manager in the world that was tapped by the Federal Reserve in America 2008 and 2020 to balance out the markets, that is on the board of trustees for the World Economic Forum to move the mission and purpose forward of the World Economic Forum. And if you watch Klaus Schwab or you watch the videos, they talk and praise China's ability to operate a monetary system and the way that they live their life in their monitored system. I'm not saying this is good, bad, or indifferent. You can put your comments here. What I'm saying is there's a lot of facts, figures, numbers, logic that are lining up. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think over the next 4 years, America is going to lose its superpower dominance. I think that there's going to be war with China, Russia. There's going to be a destruction of the middle class in America, moving down to the working poor. At the same time, there's going to be a massive, massive awakening, and humanity is going to come back into cooperation. At the same time, they're going to be handing over the superpower over to China. We're going to move into a bag of currencies regulated by a bag of currencies. We're going to be operating on a central bank digital currency, a programmable money, and those who invested in the future technologies are going to be the wealthiest people in the world. The new millionaire is going to be a billionaire, and the new billionaire is going to be a trillionaire. There's going to be no middle class, there's going to be the working poor, and there's going to be the very, 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 very wealthy. People are going to rely on assistance through a central bank digital currency, and you're going to own nothing and be happy. Because remember, that's what the World Economic Forum said. And the largest asset manager in the world is on the board of trustees of the World Economic Forum, and the facts, figures, numbers, logic are lining up based on that, because the average person doesn't even pay off their mortgage anymore, so you're basically renting your home your whole life. You can now get a 78 to 90 month loan on your car, so you're basically renting your car all the time, and you rent your cell phone. You pay $1,000 and you spread it out over so you change your cell phone because of technology, so you never own anything anyways. And they're convincing you to move into these tiny homes, and they're changing the ecosystem and how we live. And it's very, very expensive for the normal everyday person to even buy a home anymore. So a tiny home looks pretty good. And where I live in this area, there's apartment complexes going up every 5 minutes. So welcome to the new brave world. But remember, there's only 3 things you can control. I teach this all the time: your thoughts, your actions, and your reaction. So if I can control your reaction, I can control your thoughts, and I can control your actions. But if you take control of your thoughts and you take control of your discipline and consistency, as Jesus said, in the beginning, you'll find out it's the end. It's your decisions you make today, not tomorrow, not in 2024 when a new president comes. And you react a different way, non-emotional, and understanding that you have the power, you have the strength, and you can take your mat and walk. Your life will be completely different than 99% of the population. But remember, Jim Rohn says, you hear people all the time saying this: these billionaires should give $1 million to every person in society. Here's why they don't, and here's why they won't, and here's what would happen. If you give $1 million to every single person in society, it'll end up right back in the same pot, the same 1% hands, because you didn't rewire the foundation. So every single person with that money will end up in the same situation. So your job is to rewire the foundation, to shift the generation so you can experience a new situation. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Love you guys. Remember, I will never proactively DM you. Those are all scammers. They're using AI technology with my voice. I will never ask you to send me money. We have a Warrior Academy, linked in bio, education. We also have a insurance team. I have licensed insurance agents in all 50 states teaching people tax-free retirement. So if you're worried about your 401k, or you just have questions on different options on how to do your retirement different with tax code 7702, I have a team that'll do a free consultation of financial education and help you take a deep breath and understand there are options. That's linked in the bio here. It's a free consultation. Love you guys. Have a great day.